On the evening of August 8th, a dangerous water gushing occurred in the foundation pit of a subway station under construction in Wuha. This incident led to localized ground subsidence with an area approximately 20 meters in length and 10 meters in width. Residents of a 30-story residential tower in the Haifu Jiangcheng residential complex were urgently instructed to evacuate. The residential tower is located only about 10 meters away from the foundation pit. Screenshots widely circulated on local social media accounts depict that around 7:30 p.m. on the 8th, the construction manager of the subway project issued an emergency notice to the homeowners group stating, "The road below is sinking, and evacuate building 2 immediately." Some homeowners immediately inquired, "Oh, such a hot day. Where should we go after evacuation? What should we do after evacuating?" Subsequently, the property management personnel posted several consecutive notifications in the group, informing that staff members were going door to door to notify residents about the evacuation. Homeowners were reassured not to panic and to cooperate with the evacuation procedures. On the scene, mainland media reporters observed that many residents were gradually evacuating the residential complex and heading to hotels for accommodation. Around the construction site, there were dozens of various emergency engineering vehicles, and workers had closed off one side of the road adjacent to the complex. Several homeowners informed reporters that construction had been ongoing at this site for over a year, and at some stage cracks had started appearing in their homes. They had previously reported these issues to the community and local authorities, but got no response. Yesterday, there was a collapse on the other side of the subway foundation pit. Today, it's our side that collapsed. Our building 2 has 30 floors and it's only a little over 10 meters away from the pit. We don't know if the building's foundation is safe, and we're unsure about the safety of the building itself. We're waiting for the results of the inspections from the relevant authorities. On the morning of August 9th, a homeowner from the Haifu Jiangcheng residential complex, Luo Ning, informed reporters the residential complex was built only about 6 or 7 years ago, making it a relatively new one. Around 8 or 9 p.m. last night, the property management unexpectedly went door to door notifying residents of road subsidence, and they demanded that we evacuate overnight. However, they didn't provide any details about arrangements, leaving us to figure it out on our own. Luo Ning mentioned that the homeowners have no information about the government dispatching experts for collapse assessment, and they are awaiting the government's next notification and arrangements. He expressed deep concern about the future safety of the building, stating, "The crucial question is, who would dare to live in this building?" By noon on August 9th, the construction unit had closed off the section of the road affected by the incident, and over 10 construction workers were pouring cement into the subsided area. Local emergency management personnel stated that they had not received reports of casualties or injuries. Prior to this incident, there have been at least 6 instances of ground sinking accidents during the construction of the Wuhan subway. On November 21st, 2022, a collapse occurred on the pedestrian path on the south side of Yulan Garden along Luogui Road, Hongshan District. On-site verification showed that the collapsed area was approximately 30 square meters in size and 10 meters deep. It was located on the construction site of the Metro Line 11. The collapse happened during the construction of a subway shield tunnel. According to assessment by the Surveying Institute, the collapse was triggered by disturbance to the overlying rock and soil layers caused by the construction of the Metro Line 11 shield tunneling machine. The subway construction company poured concrete into the collapsed pit, and the repairs were completed in the early hours of the 22nd. Fortunately, this collapse did not result in any casualties. On September 27, 2020, a collapse occurred at a subway construction site on Wuhan Ethnic Avenue. On February 11, 2015, during the excavation process of the right tunnel section of Metro Line 3 between Hujing-Erlu and Xianggang Road Station, a water and sand inflow hazard occurred, causing ground subsidence on the local section of the Zhenshe Avenue. After the incident, Wuhan Metro Group organized emergency teams, implemented measures such as inside tunnel sealing and ground drilling grout injection to stabilize the surface and control ground subsidence. On April 29, the shield tunneling machine for the right tunnel resumed excavation. It was separated by a horizontal distance of 5.7 to 12.5 meters from the original abandoned right tunnel. The left tunnel was unaffected by the subsidence and continued excavation according to the original design route. Between June and July of 2014, during the construction of the second phase of Metro Line 4 at the Furong Road station, 3 water inflow incidents occurred, nearly causing the abandonment of the station's tunnel. Emergency repairs were carried out, and a memorial monument for the emergency response was erected on the platform of Furong Road station. Former director of the China Academy of Safety Science and Technology, Lu Tianming, stated in an interview with the mainland media, with the development of the urbanization of China, the subway has become one of the best solutions for major cities to address traffic congestion. Almost all cities with population exceeding 1 million are planning subway systems, and many large cities are not only planning and constructing one subway line, but even dozens of lines. Liu also mentioned that if cities during the process of subway construction prioritize project speed or cost savings over sufficient attention to collapse risk, it can lead to collapse accidents. As of the end of last year, there were a total of 41 cities in mainland China with operational subway systems, and the total length of subway lines reached 8,013 kilometers. Collapses and subsidence incidents caused by subway construction are commonly observed in China. Scholars from the China Academy of Railway Science and Zhejiang University, including Liu Zhongwu, conducted a statistical analysis of samples of subway construction accidents that occurred in China from 2001 to 2019. They found a total of 239 accidents during this period, resulting in 289 deaths. Among these, there were 95 collapse accidents, accounting for 40% of the total, and causing 133 deaths, accounting for 46% of the total. On June 15, 2023, the People's Procuratorate of Guangzhou City and the Emergency Management Bureau of Guangzhou jointly released a collection of typical criminal cases in the field of workplace safety, bring renewed attention to a subway collapse incident, namely the Guangzhou Metro collapse on December 1, 2019. On the morning of December 1, 2019, at 9 a.m., a ground collapse occurred at the intersection of Guangzhou Avenue North and Yudong West Road. The deepest point of the collapse pit reached 38 meters. The incident happened within the construction area of Shahe Station on Guangzhou Metro Line 11. A sewage cleaning vehicle and electric scooter fell into the pit, resulting in 3 fatalities. Following the initial collapse, multiple subsequent collapses occurred, leading to the accumulation of loose materials at the bottom of the pit. On May 27, 2020, the official website of the Emergency Management Bureau of Guangzhou City released an investigation report. According to the report, the collapse incident was a major liability accident caused by complex geological conditions encountered during underground construction. The direct cause was a combination of factors, such as the use of undermining, excavation construction, and encountering special geological conditions, which led to the collapse of the arch and water inflow. The incident resulted in 3 fatalities and a direct economic loss of approximately 20 million yuan. The construction unit was China Railway No. 5 Engineering Group, a state-owned enterprise. The Geotechnical Investigation Unit was Guangdong Provincial Architectural Design and Research Institute, an enterprise owned by the Guangdong Provincial Government. The Supervision Unit was Guangdong Zhonggong Project Management Co., Ltd., a subsidiary of Poly Real Estate Group, a state-owned enterprise. The authorities analyzed the cause of the collapse accident mainly in the following 4 aspects. Number 1, lack of comprehensive geotechnical investigation before tunnel and construction. China Railway No. 5 Engineering Group did not conduct a comprehensive geotechnical investigation as required by the construction design before the undermining excavation. They did not do advanced geotechnical detection and did not have a thorough understanding of the changes and distribution characteristics of the strata, as well as the underground geological and hydrological conditions. The precision of the investigation did not match the complexity of the geological conditions. The undermining excavation operation encountered special geological conditions and other factors which led to the collapse of the arch and water inflow. Number 2, lack of timely implementation of effective safety measures. China Railway No. 5 Engineering Group did not take targeted safety technical measures in response to warning signs of risks such as water seepage and cast cavities during the construction process. Ground personnel on duty and project management personnel did not realize the risk of ground collapse due to sudden water influx or falling debris after receiving reports of water influx. They not only instructed the underground workers to evacuate, but failed to promptly organize emergency isolation and warning of the area above the working zone to passing pedestrians and vehicles. Backup equipment was not activated in a timely manner, which led to the occurrence of the accident. Number 3, failure to implement the safety production and main responsibility. The actual person in charge of the project did not fulfill their responsibilities on site. The project department did not provide safety operation education and training to laborers, nor did it adjust the construction plan in a timely manner. There were a lack of effective emergency coordination mechanisms, and the emergency rescue plan did not accurately assess risks. There were no corresponding preventative and response measures or underground and surface coordination mechanisms for risks like underground water influx and collapse. During the construction process, they were unable to promptly investigate the causes and eliminate potential hazards. Number 4, inadequate safety management and supervision. The safety management personnel of the supervision unit did not perform their duties adequately. The position of the project director in the supervision unit was vacant for an extended period without an appointment. Supervising engineers were not assigned as required, and supervision work was not conducted. They did not supervise projects with significant hazards, did not promptly urge the construction unit to implement meeting resolutions, and failed to utilize necessary geological detection methods. The actual person responsible and technical leader of the project did not fully fulfill their safety management obligations and implement relevant measures. Mr. Liu Tianming told media reporters, due to the large volume of excavation in subway projects, the overall volume of collapses and accidents is also significant. Subway projects typically have depths of several tens of meters. Once a large-scale collapse occurs, emergency rescue becomes quite challenging. The difficulty in rescue primarily lies in the fact that after a collapse, the slopes on the sides of the collapse pit may experience secondary, tertiary, or even multiple collapses at any time. Rescuers need to ensure their own safety while conducting rescue operations. Multiple cities in China have experienced road collapse incidents caused by subway construction, some of which have led to significant casualties. For instance, on November 15, 2008 at 3:15 p.m., a massive collapse occurred at the construction site of the Hangzhou Metro Xianghu North Station Phase 2 foundation pits, resulting in 21 deaths and 24 injuries. The incident occurred a direct economic loss of 49.6 million yuan. Similarly, on February 7, 2018, a major incident involving water influx and collapse occurred during the construction of the first phase of Foshan Metro Line 2, resulting in 11 deaths, 1 person missing and 8 injuries, with a direct economic loss of approximately 53.2 million yuan. Liu Tianming pointed out that during the excavation process of subway construction projects, insufficient understanding of the geological conditions, especially inadequate support engineering for underground works, can easily lead to ground collapse during the construction process. In such collapse incidents, due to the large volume and area of the collapse, it poses significant threats to urban safety. Research and analysis conducted by Liu Zhongwu and others revealed that in subway construction accidents, the highest proportion of contributing factors is inadequate management, lack of safety awareness, worker violations, and geological reasons, accounting for 42.5%, 27.6%, 32.1%, and 25.4% respectively. The construction of subways not only triggers safety accidents resulting in casualties and economic losses, but also entails high construction and operational cost. However, there was once a period of fervent subway leap forward in China. The rapid construction and development of subways in China are closely intertwined with the booming of the real estate market. There's a saying in the Chinese real estate industry, once a subway sounds, tens of thousands of ounces of gold is coming. As long as a subway line is built, developers can sell their properties at much higher prices. For local government, subway symbolizes the urban identity and financial strengths, while also bringing significant economic benefits through land sales. As a result, many cities are willing to invest in subway construction, even if it means operating at a loss or accumulating debt. Subway projects require substantial investment from construction to operation. According to officials from the National Development and Reform Commission, NDRC, the average cost of constructing a subway is around 700 million yuan per kilometer. In 2022, out of the 25 cities in China with subway systems, 20 cities reported losses totaling 84.7 billion yuan. Beijing's subway system incurred a staggering loss of 27.5 billion yuan in 2022. The most profitable subway system was in Shenzhen, with a profit of 2.9 billion yuan. The success of Shenzhen subway is attributed to its adoption of the transit-oriented development (TOD) model from Hong Kong. Under this model, subway stations are not just transportation nodes. They are integrated with underground commercial spaces and above-ground properties. While the subway itself might be unprofitable, the commercial and property developments associated with it generate significant revenue. Wang Chenli, a professor at the Urban Rail Transit Research Institute of Central South University, pointed out that China's subway system are facing continuous losses and rely on government subsidies. Wang stated that subway construction benefits real estate developers, as the subway lines tend to follow the direction of major investments. The value of properties along subway lines increased rapidly, making developers the primary beneficiaries, followed by the government. The profits generated from the increased property value along subway lines are divided, with government taking approximately 40% and developers taking 60% of the gains. However, with population growth and real estate development reaching their peaks, the game of subway plus real estate development is also beginning to falter. The impact of pandemic control measures over the past 3 years, coupled with a sluggish real estate market, has led to reduced tax revenues and land sales income in China. This fiscal strain has left some local governments facing significant financial pressure. As a result, the era of the subway leap forward is coming to an end. Recently, the suspension of subway projects in several cities has drawn widespread attention and discussion. For instance, around 30% of the planning of Shenzhen Metro Line 5 has been cancelled. Other cities affected include provincial capital-level cities like Chengdu, Nanjing, Hangzhou, and Nanning. Apart from Shenzhen, Hangzhou's fourth phase of subway planning, which was approved at the end of last year, has been reduced from an initial 17 lines to 9 lines. Similarly, Chengdu's subway's planning has been reduced from 55 lines to 36 lines. According to Assistant Professor Liu Xing from the National University of Singapore, financial difficulties at the local level are reasons for a last-minute push for governments to make decisions about cutting back on subway planning. This forces various regions to accept the reality that subway lines must be scaled down. There's always a positive relationship between subway construction and local land finance. Once external forces lead to the reduction of subway projects, it causes a contraction in the property market along the originally planned subway routes. This further suppresses new land sale prices, impacting land finance and, in turn, exacerbating local financial difficulties. It's a negative cycle, explained Liu Xi.